Have you ever been stuck in a position or in career where you do not know where to go and how to move forward? You do not know the solution. You do not see a way forward. In that case, we have an advocate turned mindset coach with us. So welcome Jyoti to our show.
Thank you so much, Geetha, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be talking to you and your audience. Thank
So,
you.
so Jyoti, tell us a little about yourself.
Sure. So basically, by education, I'm a lawyer. I practiced for 5 years in Calcutta High Court. Then I relocated to Mumbai. 15 years of my life, I worked with top US MNCs, entire night shifts. And I worked in hospitality, mortgage, insurance, all different sectors altogether. Now, during my tenure with my last organization, I realized that this is not something that I would like to do for the rest of my life. So that is the reason I invested a lot in understanding about the human behavior, how the mindset works, why we have that particular roller coaster in our life, why we think the way we think, why we do certain things in one particular way. And that's when 2018 till 2022, I was practicing it simultaneously. I was taking clients only on Saturdays, Sundays, and my weekdays were dedicated to my office hours. 2022, when the pandemic happened and offices were calling out employees all of a sudden, that is the point when I decided the moment they're going to call me, I will put down my papers. And exactly that's what happened. So 4th of July was US Independence Day. That was the date because I should remember, forget about the world. And that was a date when I surrendered my full-time job and got into the coaching business on full-time basis. That is
Wow.
a little bit about me.
That was a great journey to start with. Saying about mindset and transformations, what emotional turning point led you, Jyoti, to decide that now I need to leave my corporate life and start with my coaching journey instead? So, what was that one emotional turning point that you had?
Okay, very nice question, Geeta. Basically, when I was working in mortgage and then hospitality, I used to converse with my associates or my colleagues who were at the similar wavelength for me. At that point in time, all they were worried was the performance review that is going to happen. Now, I had this particular thing in mind that when I am talking to my colleagues or subordinates, I can sort of console them, make them feel where they are standing, be empathetic about them. But then the turning point came when in my last organization, a subordinate came to me in tears over a performance review. And I found myself coaching her not about the KPIs that she should be doing, but about the confidence, self worth, and how she should take charge of the career. Now, the conversation happened in such a way that energized me personally. And that was the moment I decided that this is something that I would like to do for the rest of my life. And that's how I went into the coaching business. Now, sometimes what happens, Geeta, is sometimes the career you think you choose is just the bridge for the work you were truly meant to do. That's how where I am.
Absolutely. That is true for me too because I started with education. This is also education. But instead of being just a math teacher or a science teacher, I now have entered into a different realm altogether. So, as you said, sometimes the career that we choose first could just be the bridge to the career that or the passion that
Yes.
is actually meant for you. So, how do you help professionals identify how emotionally they are stuck in their current position and what needs to change? How do you facilitate that?
So, Geeta, first of all, we should be understanding the patterns. It plays a really important role because these are the patterns that we understand. We have adopted them since the very childhood. Maybe from our surroundings, maybe mom and dad, the relatives that we are accompanied by, right? So if you start noticing patterns, what is the pattern when on Friday afternoons, once you have to log off and go for your work, after your work to your home, meet your family, are you really in a very high state of mind? What is your state at that point in time? So once you understand what is your state on Sunday night when you have to re-log in on Monday, what is your state? So if you are able to understand patterns, that's when the thing shifts. So we explore the emotional energy, what tasks or what are the buzz moments we call it in our industry, what are the buzz moments that make them live, versus what are the tasks that drains them. Maybe they are going to their work only for the handsome paycheck that they are getting end of the month. That is the driving factor. But I always ask them, if that check, if what if you won the lottery tomorrow and would you still go to this work? If the honest answer is no, it's a sign we need to explore a shift. Because Geeta, I always have believed fulfillment is not a luxury, it's a fuel. Without it, even the big or the best salary can't keep you going.
So,
Yes.
Jyoti, can you just explain what you said, the buzz moments? Because our audience might not relate to it. So, I want you to clarify that with some example that you might have encountered with some of your clients.
Sure. So, buzz moments are those tiny or minute moments in your life wherein you forget about the time. You are not looking at the clock. And it gives you immense happiness, immense pleasure. You go to your highest state of mind. So, I'll give you my example. When I am really, I think the things are going monotonous, not very happening. That point in time, I take out my bike keys, get on a bike, and roam all around Pune, right? And sing out a nice song. That is a buzz moment. It gives me happiness. So that gives me an upliftment and that changes your state immediately. So buzz moments are those moments wherein your states get changed immediately. What people do is they sit on their couch surfing channels and then they say, I'm getting bored. Oh my God, what are you doing to change that? Everyone is getting bored. That is normal. But what are you doing? What you love? Someone likes taking a walk, someone likes riding a bike, someone likes taking their dog for a walk. So you need to identify what are those small moments in your life that gives you an edge, that gives you that buzz. And those moments are really important. We all have in our lives. It is time to do introspect and make it live. That's what buzz moment is all about.
You use that word introspect, and I know that most people never introspect in their life. They never go back and think, sit with themselves. How important is sitting with oneself and rethinking about what all went through the life and keeping a gist or a summary of what went right and what went wrong, what lessons we learned, importance of that introspection in life. How much is it, Jyoti?
So, Geeta, I'll give you one of the examples wherein I work with one of my mentees who is a director in a reputed organization. Now, this particular personality gave up playing guitar once he was only in college. During his 11th and 12th and college time, he used to play and he was passionate about it. Whenever he talks about playing guitar, it creates a sparkle in him. Now, what we did after 1 and 2 months of coaching, we asked some intriguing question and that motivated him. We were talking about the buzz moment and he thought one activity that he can inculcate in his days, like out of 7 days, he can do it 3 days a week. And that's when he inculcated this. His state of mind automatically changed. He was like very monotonous. And all of a sudden, he started joining the groups who were playing guitar. He started attending those sessions on Saturdays and he started recording it, creating it on his leisure time. And now his YouTube is filled with those small songs, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And that is a buzz moment. Even watching him playing live, that is a buzz moment for him. So anyone who is passionate about anything, whatever sparkle their eyes, that is a buzz moment. You need to identify, sit down with yourself, not with any damn person in the universe. Sit down with yourself and figure out what is that one moment wherein you just lost track of time.
So when we say that, Jyoti, it is more about self-introspection as well. We need to sit with ourselves, relook and relearn from whatever experiences we had in our life. How important is self-introspection in your mindset journey?
I tell you, Geeta. So there's a famous proverb from Sadhguru. It's not a proverb or a statement. He says, if you are alone and you are getting bored, that means you are in a wrong company. In today's days, what people do is if they do not have anyone around, like spouse, children, or any friend to talk to, they think they are getting bored. So, what is something that is missing inside of you? Why you are not happy with your own state of mind, with your own self? And that's where the power of asking question to yourself is really important. When you ask yourself, Why don't I like sitting alone? What is there something about me which I don't like, which is something that I would like to change? What is that one single activity I love doing which I gave up 10 or 12 or 15 years back? So once you are into a habit of getting on onto these things, automatically you start loving your own company. And introspection is also important when you talk about decision making, whether you should do something or not. What happens is we are so dependent on our colleagues, our bosses, our subordinates, our family members, that even for important decisions like life partner, for important decisions while taking up this job or this government job that your parents always wanted for you don't ask yourself, is it truly that you want? So I have met engineers who became an engineer just because their dad wanted, just because their mother wanted. That is the reason for you to waste your entire life. And in contrast to that, that person wanted to become a lawyer, that person wanted to become a doctor. So that's where the introspection comes in. What do you want? Because your mom and your dad and your family members will not be unhappy if you are successful, even being a chef. There are successful chefs in India as well, right? So it is not about what you should be doing following the herd, what you should be doing following your heart. That is important.
Absolutely. As you said, follow your heart, and then everything starts to fall in place. So, what role does emotional intelligence play in navigating office politics and toxic relationships and leaderships in the workplace? And have you had clients facing them, and how do you navigate them?
Yes, in a toxic workplace, Geeta, trust me, emotional intelligence or emotional quotient is not just a skill, it is your survival toolkit. What happens is, I was working with a client who was being micromanaged by a boss who used to take credit for her, right? Whatever she is doing, he is the one because he is guiding her, right? Instead of reacting emotionally, what we did is we started understanding the patterns. What are the times when your boss is asking you those questions? Are you the chosen one? He's asking you those questions to demean you or to put you in limelight. So once you start understanding the pattern, understanding the trigger, reading unspoken dynamics and responding strategically, automatically the trajectory changes. So learning to frame the contributions, what we are doing, instead of cribbing about it, we have to play tactically in the way we have to make our contributions sound in team meetings first, and also whenever there is a hurdle going on or whenever there's a board meeting, that's when you have to frame your contributions. And within months you will not be seen as a complainer and you will be seen as a problem solver. Emotional intelligence is not about being nice, it's about being wise in how you respond to situations.
Absolutely, absolutely, Jyoti. As you said, it is not about cribbing about the problem, but being the problem solver. And it comes only when you know how to respond, not to react. And that is a
Correct.
skill you must learn to navigate office politics and toxic leaderships. So, when that is said, do you find a lack of resilience in today's instantaneous behaviors? We want everything in our fingertips right now, right? Anything, food, from food to clothes to everything, we want it at our fingertips. In this age, do you find employees and high performing individuals suffering because they lack resilience?
So basically, Geeta, if we talk about resilience, resilience is built like a muscle. You have to build it with consistent practice, with consistent efforts, small consistent efforts every day when you go to work. What is that one simple task that you are doing without someone sitting on your head? So what I do is I teach clients to create anchor habits, as in your grounding rituals. What is your morning to-do list? What is something that you love doing? Taking a walk in the park and journaling to process uncertainty. And after a certain period of time, that strength that will become a strength inventory to remind yourself of your past wins, right? So transitions can be like a parachute, you can say. You pack every day, but all of a sudden you know that you have the strength to take it forward. So resilience is less about bouncing back and more about bouncing forward with wisdom. That is important. Yes.
Absolutely. As you said, resilience is not a cupcake. You cannot have it instantaneously. It is built over time through experience, with age, and with kind of exposure that you get. So coming to
Mhm.
that, have you had high performing individuals suffering from imposter syndrome? Have you
Yes, a
had
lot.
clients?
Yes, I'll tell you. So what happens to these guys are they behave as perfectionist. So they have a tendency of being a perfectionism in everything, whatever they do. And with that perfectionism attitude, what happens is they're overcommitted to please others, undervalue their own expertise. So I say that if you're not able to complete your task in 8 hours, that means you are not competent enough. You are maybe you're a wrong fit for this particular job, and it is called invisible ceiling, built not by the company but by your own self talk. Now, Geeta, it is very important to understand our conversation with ourselves is direct conversation with the universe, right? And we have a habit of every time demeaning ourselves. And as we say that there is one vote in the morning, even entire world can be against you. Your mom, dad, your spouse, your children, your friends, family members. But there has to be one vote that has to be casted in your favor is you. Right? So
Absolutely.
every morning Jyoti Pandey got one vote, which is from Jyoti Pandey. And by creating this self-love and self-appreciation, you invite others to do the same.
Absolutely.
Right?
As you said, perfectionism. Everything needs to be perfect when life in itself is so imperfect. It's about spontaneity. Let life flow
Mhm.
as it is, and let's enjoy as we go through it. That is one way of taking it. The second is, as you said, build your resilience in a way that counters for a parachute in time when you need it. So, having said that, how do
Yes.
you guide someone who is like in a setup, who is like suffering from not putting up correct boundaries in the workplace and suffers from guilt or judgment about themselves or from others?
So basically, it all depends upon how much confident are you in your own skin. That is important. And the confidence is not a habit, it is a muscle that you have to build every day. So, first time when we attempted to speak on a platform, it is same for everyone. No one is born speaker, right? You have to build that particular habit of talking. So first time your voice is trembling, your hands shivering, your body is like doing anything against you, everything against you. So you need to understand that yes, this happened. What is the learning? Was I not prepared? Was I not confident on that particular topic? And what is the next time that I can learn from this particular instance? What people do is they just give up. Okay, I was not okay on that particular platform, I was not good enough, and that is the reason they create a history in their brain, and that creates a pattern that always makes them not to attempt the same thing again. Now, I'll give you an example, Geeta. Fear and anxiety and all these things will always be there. Now, it is your call to make them drive the car or ask them that, yes, I know you are there to protect me, but chill. Take a chill pill. I am the one driving the car. So be there, protect me, but let me drive the way I want to. That's how it works.
Absolutely. As you said, the first instinct is flight that comes to our mind.
Yes.
After fright, it is flight. So you
Mhm.
want to escape things. But instead of
Mhm.
escaping, if you just calm down, have a deep breath and say, I am in the driver's seat and I drive my vehicle my own way, your mind knows that it will go okay. It will be okay. It relaxes. So that was an absolute a message that you give. Now tell me, have you encountered emotionally transformative moments working with your clients or in your professional journey? And have you found that you also needed a kind of training or some kind of you were doing self sabotage to yourself in some way?
Yeah, I'll give you a very good example on this. So when I decided to leave my corporate job, there are superiors who will tell you, what if you fail? And there are superiors at the same time, your fear inside of you also says, what if you fail? You want to start with a coaching journey, mindset coaching journey. What if you fail? And my intuition said, what if I fly? right? So it is always important to understand whom are you listening to, your fear or your intuition. What happens is, Geeta, fear is basically stopping you to not do something. But intuition is making you feel calm and steady and take the action at the right moment, even if it is nudging you towards something scary, right? So fear shouts, intuition whispers. The wiser choice is the one that still feels right in the quiet. So whenever you are getting out of this particular intuition, that whether I should do this, whether I should not do this, don't take instant decision. The decision has to be in a calm, composed way. Take some time. I suggest my clients to sleep over the thought. If you have some doubt in mind, sleep over that thought. Talk to universe. Universe, this is something that I would like to do. However, I would like to leave it to your discretion. Give me a signal. By morning, trust me, Geeta, you will get some or the other signal whether you should go ahead or no. That's what I always do.
Jyoti, I also believe in something called manifestation. And what you said is a journey of manifestation. And whatever I am today, I have done it through manifestations only. Even the talk show that we are doing today is a part of my manifestation
Yes.
that I had. So, as I said in the morning with the message that I dreamt of having you on my talk show and doing it. So, we are doing it today. So, you rightfully said the intention that you set before your sleep, and if you want an answer from the universe gives it. I back it up with my experience, and I believe that that is one way of getting where you really want to go and in the right direction. Coming to that, can you narrate an incident or one of your clients' transformational journey which inspired you as well?
Yeah, it's a very important, beautiful journey. So right now I'm working with a client who is 62 years of age. When he came to me, he was like looking for a job. And I said, sir, at 40, I am not inclined towards a job. What makes you do a job even after 60? So he's saying, I got retired at 58 since last 4 years. So understand, Geeta, so 58 years of his corporate job, he did not find fulfillment. He did not find anything that makes him follow his passion, follow his skills, follow his strength. So that is something that I learned, that till I have time, till I am into the corporate job, I should get something out of it, in the sense I should be able to go on a path which I would like to pursue. So when we start, definitely it's a struggle. Entrepreneurship is a struggle. Everyone knows. Otherwise, 90% of the people, instead of being a job professional, they should have entrepreneurs, right? And that is the reason people are not entrepreneurs. So I take pride in saying that I'm an entrepreneur right now. Now, when you get step on the journey, it is like you have to do something for free initially. Now, if you have to do something for free and it still excites you, motivates you, inspires you, that is your true calling. So I can talk to people, I can motivate them, I can get the what is there inside of them which has not been touched based upon even by their family members, their spouse, colleagues, or superiors, subordinates, anyone. I can tap into that energy and I can make them vomit what is inside of them, what is stopping them, what they really want to do. Once you are into that journey, that is really amazing and that's really exciting.
Beautiful. So, coming to that, I want three important questions from you. You being the expert in mindset in and career transition, I want three answers from you for my audience. First, how do you know that it is time to move over from your current position or current job?
Oh, great question, Geeta. Once you are confident in your skills, in your strength, and you have worked, given it considerable amount of time. So I don't suggest anyone to leave their full-time job because that is giving you food and shelter. That is important for survival. There are a lot of people, instead of taking home loan, car loan, they have taken marriages loan. And I feel very devastated on looking at the marriage is already spoiled. The marriage, the girl has gone somewhere else. But this person is already paying 8.5 lakhs loan that he took for the marriage. So it is not about leaving your full-time job. It's about building on something simultaneously. Now, no one can say that they are working 5 days a week and 2 days they are not getting to work on their passion. Working on your passion, when your passion is giving you that much amount which is equivalent to your salary, that is the moment when you should leave your job. But yes, starting working on your passion is something that you need to really figure out right now, right at the moment.
Okay, first question answered. I want the second one. How do you know that the transition that you're going to make is the right one?
Awesome. So I always have believed, do not take a right decision. Take a decision and make it right.
Okay.
So any point in the world, you will not be able to understand whether this is right or this is wrong. This is right to you right now. After 5 years down the line, this may not be right for you. So first is asking yourself, do I need to do something about it? Am I really interested in doing this? If the answer is yes, go with your intuition. Your gut is really powerful. That is important.
Okay, the last one. When the transition is made, obviously you cannot work with the the mindset that you previously had. You need to have a right mindset for the current job now, for the new job. That means a total mindset shift and a new perspective too. How do you work on it?
Yeah, so you need to understand, Geeta, whatever took you to this level, you already or you have applied all the knowledge. That is the reason you are to this level. Now, from this level, if you want to go to this level, you need to learn something, upskill something. Having said that, even the best cricketers, best footballers, best sports person have a coach by them. Now, if you talk about do I know something? Yes, I know something because knowledge is everywhere on Google, Chrome, and now we are living in an age of AI, right? So knowledge without implementation is just information. You may have all the knowledge in the universe, but till the time there is no accountability partner, there is not someone who is hand holding you towards the right direction, you will not be able to achieve that goal. So it is important to have that accountability partner with you, and that's how you scale. So people in India, it's a notion that if you are going to a coach, that means there is some mental problem. It's not like that. You have to change the perspective, you have to change the lenses so that the scenario in front of you changes. That is the ultimate motive why we are having this conversation, right?
When you say that, Jyoti, in India, we have a notion that whoever goes to a coach or a mentor needs medical attention. Actually, that is not the case. You should have a mentor or a coach to guide you so that you do not waste 20, 25 years of your life figuring out. They can guide you because they have already figured it out and can make it easy for you. So I would love to
Yes.
know one final message that you would love to give our audience.
Yeah, very important is have some self-worth. Do not depend on your parents, your family, your spouse, your colleagues, your superiors, your subordinates, because self-worth is something that comes from inside. And self-worth begins when you stop outsourcing your value to someone's opinion. Someone's opinion is just a noise about you. Don't go for the noise. Have your, we call it, Geeta, we call it, there has to be incoming. What is that incoming? Incoming is something which starts from self. So your self-worth, your self-value, your self-accomplishment, anything that starts with
Self-respect.
self, that you will income. Yes, self-respect, that is your income. When you have built on your income, automatically you can go ahead and look for the similar things in your surrounding. That is the outcome. People chase outcome without building on their income. That is the problem. So that is something everyone in today's era should have, self-worth. Thank you so much, Geeta.
Absolutely. Beautiful message and a beautiful conversation with you, Jyoti. Thank you for sparing time and making my manifestation come true. Thank you, Jyoti, once again.
Thank you so much, Geeta, for having me on your show. And I'm blessed to share. If I can inspire just one person from the audience, my mission is accomplished. Thank you so much. Take care.
Absolutely, Jyoti. We are all trying so that at least we can change the life of one person for the betterment. This show itself is meant just to empower and give a certain kind of tool to anyone who needs it. So I think this episode of ours will definitely help people who are in career transition and working on their mindset. If you want and would like to know more about our show or want a certain guest on my show, please DM me or let me know in the messages below and read the description because we have all the details of Jyoti inside. So you can, if you need to contact her or me for any resource or for anything, you can come and check with our details. Thank you.